This may be the strangest things I've ever done for an anvil stand. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a really bad idea, but Big Blu, the maker of Big Blu power hammers, also makes anvils, and they sent this 150-pound double horn anvil out for us to take a look at. But before we can do that, I had to make a stand for it. So in this video, we're going to look at making the Big Blu stand for the Big Blu Anvil. This is a fabricated stand made out of 1/4-inch plate. It's hollow on the inside. It's not a solid stand, even though it looks big and solid. Although it does end up weighing 142 pounds, plus the weight of the anvil. Now I bought a 4x8 sheet of 1/4-inch plate, and I need that for some other projects, but there's enough of this to also make this stand out of. So the first thing to do is cut the plate and get the pieces for the stand cut to size and shape. This is still nearly 100 pounds of 1/4-inch plate. For the taper on this stand, I'm making it 2 inches wider at the base than it is at the top on both sides. The base of the anvil is about 10 by 13, so that leaves me a 14 by 17 base. Now I know I'm not the best welder in the world, but I've got a grinder and I'm not afraid to use it. For the last bit of fabrication on this anvil stand, I have an idea, and this may be the strangest things I've ever done for an anvil stand. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a really bad idea, but I'm going to add wheels. Now, because of the tapered sides on this, I can't just put a bolt through the side and add the wheel to that. I need something that gets everything straight and in line, parallel on all sides. So I'm going to weld a 3/4 inch bolt to the end of a 1-inch bar. The head on the bolt is about a 1-inch square head, so this should make a nice axle shaft, and then this will be solidly attached to the stand. The plywood base weighed 7 pounds, 149 pounds combined, so that's 142 pounds for the base. Well, the anvil is up on the stand. It was a tight fit. I had to get a big rawhide mallet and kind of tap it down to get all 4 feet to fit in these little angle iron brackets. But that means it's good and solid. And with the silicone, this isn't going anywhere. But I still prefer to physically clamp the anvil to the stand. And I did take the time to drill and tap holes in this. So I'm going to use a big plate. This is a piece of 1/2-inch scrap I happen to have around. I've got 2 pieces. And that will fit right here on the end. But because this is at an angle, I can't just put a bolt in there. I got to have something that holds the bolt straight up and down. So I've got some heavy wall tubing. I cut a little wedge out of it. I'm going to weld that to the plate, and then I'll drill through that so I've got a hole that goes all the way through. And a couple of those should finish this up nicely. This was perhaps the most expensive anvil stand that I have ever made and likely ever will make. But it does get the Big Blu Anvil up on a Big Blu stand, and I really like the way the stand came out. I think it really sets this anvil off. Doing things like this isn't just about practicality. There's all sorts of other things that would hold the anvil up and work just fine as a working anvil. But I'm at a point in my blacksmithing journey that I'm trying to improve the overall aesthetic of my shop, and I want some things that are just kind of special, like the gate we built and the wooden stand we made for that other anvil. And this is something that I'm going to come into the shop, I'm going to look at, I'm going to say, yeah, I like what I did with that, even if it was phenomenally expensive. Now, as far as the wheels go on this stand, this is not an original idea. This is something that I saw Nigel Barnett, I think his name is, has a YouTube channel. He's over in England, and he's got a very big professional production shop, lots of tools, lots of equipment. And most of the anvils you see in his videos are up on wheels. And Nigel has a video where he shows how he gets an anvil mounted to the stand, silences it, puts wheels on it, and he talks about the advantages of that. And I will link to that video up here if you're interested in watching it. But he doesn't seem to have any problem with the wheels, so I'm hoping I don't either. If I do, I can always take them off and find some other way to modify the stand so it doesn't have wheels. But since this will be an auxiliary anvil, something I'll use for special purposes, I don't want it to be something I got to really wrestle to move in and out. I won't use it as much if it is hard to position, especially if I'm kind of tired and sore already. But this is easy to move, easy to get where I want it. And I think the wheels are going to be a really welcome addition for this anvil. It does have one problem though. And that is I've taken an anvil. Anvils like to ring usually, And essentially, I've mounted it to a big cowbell. Now, it doesn't ring like a bell, but that definitely provides a resonating chamber, and this is going to be a little bit loud. If this was going to be a permanent setup, I probably would have welded a bottom in this stand and filled it with sand. That would have made it a lot more massive. It wouldn't have been something that would move around in the shop at all. And it likely would completely silence this and make a really nice quiet anvil out of it. But since I want to move it, I didn't want to make it that heavy. I'm thinking about turning the whole thing over and getting some expanding foam and spraying it up in here. That's not something I would ever use where it might be exposed to hot iron, but since this is well shielded on all sides except the bottom, and I don't see any sparks going down, jumping back up inside of it, I think I could probably get away with that. I might live with it for a little while and decide if it's a good idea. If you've ever tried that and done something like that, by all means, leave a comment down in the comment section. If somebody says it was a really bad idea and caused problems, I probably wouldn't do it. But if you tried it and it really helped a lot and it never created any problems, I'd love to know about it. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for stopping by to watch the video, with a special shout out to my channel members and my Patreon patrons who help support the channel financially. Channel members get early access to the videos, a day or two early usually. Patreon patrons, depending on the level, can receive early access to the videos, receive the videos ad-free. There's occasionally some behind-the-scenes content, and there's even a few special perks and thank you rewards that I'm starting to send out to my Patreon patrons. So if you're interested in any of that, particularly not watching the annoying ads here on YouTube, Patreon might be something worth checking out. So thanks Big Blu for sending the anvil out. I'm going to do a full review on this anvil, and I have a link to that video right down here. In the meantime, I hope you have time in your day to get out to your shop, have fun, make something, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next video.